paradigm is in control of you. Don't think it's not. It is. It is in control of you. It's a demon inside of you, and it talks to you. Yet it tells you, don't do that, you crazy. Go ahead, do it. Don't do it. It's in control. And you know something? 97% of the time, the damn thing wins. It does. And I don't care how sophisticated you are. I don't care how smart you are. I don't care how religious you are. I don't care about any of those things. Your paradigm is in control. It's been programmed right into the cells in your being. Stop and think of how you got here. Little particle of energy from mom, little particle of energy from dad comes swimming along. They were in resonance, and that is the nucleus of you. And then for 280 days, an attractive force went to work. And all of mom's DNA and all dad's DNA, where'd their DNA come from? Well, their mother and their dad, where did they go from their mothers and their dads? God knows how far back this goes. You're the product of other people. You're the confluence of thinking that goes back for God knows how far. That's who you are. That's why you look like you do. That's why you got the hair you've got. That's why you're the height you are, the weight you are. That's why your foot is wide or narrow. This is all programmed into us. Then 280 days later, we make our debut on the planet. And we become programmed by the people we're surrounded by. This is real, and you're not going to get it in school because the teachers don't know it. Look, this is really a black or white deal. It doesn't matter how hard you work. It doesn't matter how many hours you put in. If the paradigm doesn't change, ultimately results remain the same from one year to the next. That's why people go right through their life living much the same as their parents and their grandparents and their great-grandparents. Nothing changes. Just as prejudiced, bigoted, and ignorant from one generation to the next. You must alter the paradigm if you desire to improve your results. Both companies and individuals operate with paradigms. Countries operate with paradigms. Families have paradigms. To be able to shape your future, though, you have to be willing and able to change your paradigm. You got to be willing and you got to be able.
Can you hear me? No, I can't hear you.
I'm only kidding. I had my mute on. You can hear me all day.
Come back in again. Oh, that's so funny. That's so funny. You're
afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are we all? That was amazing. I love that. You've got to be willing and you've got to be able. But it's true, isn't it? You really do have to make a decision that you're done with whatever it is that you're experiencing right now with life. And when you decide that you're done, the willingness comes to experiencing something different. But yeah, I love it. Great video. Lots to think about in that, just in that few minutes. I think it was like a 2-minute video, wasn't it, that one?
That's good. It's so good. I'll play it again at the end. You get for those who maybe coming a bit later. So welcome along, folks.
Here we are, day 2.
Welcome along. I know. Hello, Lenny. Hi, Maeve. Welcome along. Who else is here with us? Give us a wee hi. Give us a wave. Let us know where you are across the world. I know we've got Forthfirm. We've got Ireland. Yesterday we had Nebworth. Where are we today? Let us know.
I'm very energized today. I had a networking event this morning and it was in person and it was lovely. And as much as I love YouTube and I love the Zoomiverse and you know, being able to connect with people from all over the country and, you know, the world, it's also nice to be in person, isn't it? It's nice to have these things. Absolutely. So yeah, it's great. Very grateful for being able to do what we do, for being able to share this material and to have these kind of conversations. So yeah, so welcome back everyone. How are you doing? And I'm going to let Jamie go through those that did the homework, but I just wanted to just to start us off by saying welcome back, by saying again, once again, well done for choosing you, for choosing time. Well done for those that came along last night. That was lovely. That was a really nice conversation. And for those that couldn't get on for whatever reason, gosh, I'm not sure about that. Sorry about that. And we'll get that fixed for tonight. But yesterday was all about the goals, wasn't it? And it is about the goals, and it's not about the goals. We need the goals. The goals give us the direction. And that was the conversation that we were having in the room. But it's the journey of who you get to become that really makes the process of how we experience life very, very different. And the statistics around goal setting have always astounded me, but to kind of top level, only around 3% of people get their goals. And I think that's
Worldwide.
yeah, I mean, it's huge, isn't it? Of all of the billions of people in the world, only 3% of people will actually create that journey of life where they achieve their goals. And so my question to you that are here, that are showing up in this space already, what's Jamie done that's naughty, is are you going to be in the 3%? So I'm going to ask you that. And when you see me looking down, I'm looking down at my phone. I'm sure maybe I need to do something about that and move my phone back up. But are you, so I'm like, way down there. Are you going to get your goal? There's the question for you now. Are you going to be in 3%? So I'm going to let you answer that as I faff about. Maybe I'll not faff about. I'll wait till Jamie's speaking and I'll faff about when he's doing that. But are you going to be one of the 3%? Because now you know what the purpose of a goal is, and you know how important it is to have a goal, and it's how we set direction and the journey of who we get to become. What you get to do now is you get to decide. You get to decide that I want to be one of these people. I want to decide I want to be in the 3% club. And that was a question that was asked to me a long time ago. And I absolutely straight away was, well, absolutely, I want to be in that 3% club. I want to be with that group of people that live a life of intention, that decide that they want to experience life in a certain way and go for that. So it sounds simple, doesn't it? Because this is always the bit logically. It's like, yeah, well, I could do that. I could go for the goal. I'm going to set the goal. I'm going to know what the goal is. I'm going to set it and I'm going to go for it. But actually, simple does not mean easy, because as we really touched on yesterday, once you decide that you want to have a goal, it's not an easy journey. It's a journey that goes like this. As you decide that you're going to become more intentional, what you're also bringing into your life is more consciousness of you, more consciousness of how you get in your own way, more consciousness of when you're in your own way, and that's really uncomfortable, and then more consciousness of how you want to live your life. And when you decide that, what you realize, and this was a conversation that we were having this morning, is this is a way of life. This isn't a 3-day program. This is a decision of this is how I want to live. I don't know if anybody remembers The Matrix, but this is a red pill, blue pill moment. What a film. But you either live your life to, it shut down to the reality, living from the head up, always functioning, always in the 5 senses, and then always in the doing, and keep yourself so busy that you never actually feel how life feels. Or you take the other, I can't even remember which one does what. But, whatever is the opposite is you come into life and you realize that life is never going to be the same again, because you're going to feel all the feels and you're going to go on a journey and you're going to create a life that's much more expansive and wider and so full of possibility that you've ever allowed yourself to imagine before. And it's amazing. So welcome to day 2. But I want to hear from you in the chat. I haven't seen The Matrix. Yeah, Google it if you haven't seen it. Just don't know, ask ChatGPT. What's Nikki talking about The Matrix? Or add it to the list. Absolutely. You might want to block yourself off a bit of time, because there's a few of them, isn't there? There's a few of them. Oh my God, they're amazing films. I think I might go back and watch them, actually. I think I might go back and watch The Matrix.
Yeah.
So let's just reconnect and decide. So if this resonates, type a yes. And I'm seeing that you're already in that chat. If this is just landing, if you're starting to realize that this is a way of life, if you're starting to realize that it's almost like a mind gym, the practicing how you want to think and feel for a way that's more beneficial for you, how you want to live, is a practice, is a lifestyle, is a choice. And also that it's a leap of faith. It is a leap of faith to invest in you, in deciding I want to live the life that I want to live, not what everybody else keeps telling me that they think that I should or shouldn't do. And that's why most people don't get their goals, because most people are setting the wrong goal. They're setting the goal that they think they should be setting. They're setting the goal that their mum wants for them, their dad wants for them, their partner wants for them, their dog wants for them, their children wants for them. But this is, and this is my story. This is a huge part of my story. That the first part of my career in my 20s, I worked in the hotel industry, and I travelled the world, and I climbed that kind of corporate ladder in the hotel, and I loved my job. Like, I was on cloud nine for about 10 years. I just thought I had the best life. And I ended up coming back to Dundee predominantly because I met my husband. We were both from Dundee, but he was living in Canada and I was living in London at the time. And for us to be together, Dundee was our kind of commonality. So we came home what was meant to be for a couple of years. You notice how I raised my eyes there, because it's now been 25 years, but that's another story. But what happened when I came home was I ended up having a conversation with somebody who loves me dearly and who never, I don't think ever intended on my journey becoming my journey. My journey is my journey because of me. But what happened was someone had said to me, oh, well, now you could get a proper job. A proper job. And those words, just 2 words, in a split second, I discounted the whole of my first half of my career and made it mean nothing, that it wasn't a proper job. And I ended up getting a job in the NHS. It set me on this trajectory, this pathway of what a proper job was. And I ended up staying in that job for 22 years. And I would say in that 22 years, that job drained the life out of me. And lots of people were, there's always so many people that want to give us advice and, what we should be doing. There was so much about that job that I loved because, one, it allowed me to have my 4 children. It gave me maternity leave. It gave me flexibility. It gave me the opportunity to have more holidays through unpaid leave and things like that. So it gave me so much, but it never grew me. It grew me, I got promotions and all these things, but as a person, as a human, it drained the life out of me. And as I climbed that kind of corporate ladder and I got to the stage where I realised that I wanted to do more coaching, because I was introduced to coaching through this job, and again, I'm so grateful for that. But the more I got into coaching and the more I loved coaching and just being with people in that kind of group space, team space, one-to-one space, and I didn't want to do the other stuff of the job, that as that next level became clear as what I should be doing and what I was encouraged to do, you'll be going for this next level, Nikki, won't you? And I just thought, no, I don't want to do that. And saying those words out loud was liberating for me, but for other people that have really influenced my life over the years, they couldn't understand it. It was like, well, why won't you be doing that? You need to bring in more money. And I guess now we talk about this actually in Fridays in our community, because we do a lot of financial intelligence work on Fridays. And we talk about the rat race, how most of us get stuck in that rat race. And that's exactly what I did. I got on this rat race, this wheel of going in this job, going for the next level, having a child, having another job, getting another promotion, and all of that was just keeping me so busy in my head that I never really noticed what was happening to the human inside underneath it all, until I got into coaching and I realised that this is not how I want to live. In fact, it was not how I want to live. And so when I realised, because of all this work I've been doing, the communities that I've been putting myself inside, communities like Jamie's, I was a client of Jamie's before we became business partners, I realised that I wanted to do something very different and experience life very differently to what I had been doing. And so the purpose of yesterday is to just give you a little bit of insight into that. What is it that you really, really, really want? The first time I actually said out loud, I want to be a coach, I want to have my own business, I never even heard myself say it, because I'd said it so quickly and I shut it down so quickly. So there's always the two parts of us, the parts that want growth, the part that wants to stay the same. I want to be a coach, but that's not for me. And we call it, well, Jamie calls it, and I have kind of adopted it, the but. I want to be a coach, but. I want to be a coach, but. And so when I was with my coach and I said this out loud, she brought me back to this bit that I'd said, I want to be a coach, before I shut it down. And I heard myself say it for the first time. And I never had any idea. I'd been employed since I was 16. I've worked all through uni, all through all my stuff. But at this point, I'd been employed for 28 years. Well, how do you leave a job and set up a business? And this is where you get to let go of the how. Because it's not about the how. The how unfolds once you've made the decision. You just have to make the decision first. So this is why only 3% of people get the goals. Because the goal setting system that we're taught, the SMART goals, well, what if goals didn't need to be smart? What if they just needed to be wild? What if they needed to be so completely away from where you are right now, which is what mine was, well, I want to have my own business, that it's ludicrous, it's mad, that it's so illogical. But then you sit with it and you think, but what if that did happen? What would I do? What would life be like? What would I want life to be like? What are the parts of my life that I used to love about my 20s are no longer available to me? What if I brought that back in? What if I wanted to have more travel? What if I wanted to work with clients abroad? What if? And then when you sit with them and you breathe life into them and you start to get excited because you realise that there is so much more to how you can live than how you're living, then maybe I get to be one of the 3% too. I shall pause there. And if that resonates with you in any way, I want to see that in the chat. I want to see your golden handcuffs. Yes, definitely. Show me your love, show me your fire emoji, show me your heart emoji, show me your yes, whatever resonates. Do share. Let's see how Jamie's doing.
I'm doing great. I'm just sitting back and listening, and I've heard your story many times, and like mine, I've been public sector for 20 years. It's like, I laugh sometimes. It's like that Deacon Blue song. I've been working for the council for 20 years, and that was me. And then, leaving that when I felt, it was time to move on, and got involved again in full-time professional football, and then all that stuff that links you to that loyalty, but something is not really, really resonating with you. Yeah. Then change is hard. But today is about addressing that but. We've got opportunities, we've got goals, we've got life that we want to create.
Yeah.
But this part of us goes, but that's too far, or that's too hard, or that's not the right time, or you don't have the money, you'll start on a Monday, it's too... And it's just full of excuses.
Yeah.
So it all resonates. Yeah. Who else is here today? I want to hear from all of you. Lenny, you've been so good. And Elizabeth's here. Good morning, Elizabeth across in Ohio. Aww. Hello there. Nice to see you. Keep going, Nikki. You're in. I'm sitting back.
Am I in full flow? I was just getting myself set up so that I could see the YouTube and not be looking down upon myself. So I think I'm settled now. But yeah, so the SMART goals thing I think is quite crucial, isn't it? It's quite dominant in many industries about being sensible and setting these sensible goals. But what we really want to explore with you, and Jamie's going to give us some really powerful teaching later on, but it is about nurturing the goal. It is about sitting with that feeling of excitement, that little spark that starts to appear, and then think about how do I make this the driving force of my life? Most people don't spend their time there. Most people don't spend their time sitting with the illogical aspect of the goal. Most people don't know how to tap into how it feels when you think about the goal as the wish fulfilled. So we asked you yesterday, when you write your goal, write it from the perspective of, I am so happy and grateful. Write it from the perspective of, you've got the goal. But most people would never do that. It's not logical, but it's the feeling that creates when you live your life through those eyes. every day. How do you, when you move from that energy, how do you do that? So I'm going to share with you a little bit of story that's just completely, I'm going to say off script, just because obviously there's lots of things we want to talk with you about, but life happens in between all of it. And I've just come back from Italy. I've had 2 weeks in Italy where I was doing my master's practitioner in NLP. And this is something that's been a big part of my coaching journey I've been coaching now for kind of officially for about 15 years, but unofficially for a lot longer than that. But when I decided that one of my coaching modalities would be NLP, that's been a really heavy investment in my time, my money, my energy, but also my time away from my family. When I set up the business, a lot of the work that I did with my coach, Jess, was that what do you want your business to look like? You need to decide, you get to decide what are the foundations of how you want a business, how do you want to experience your business? And part of it for me was travel. I'd spent so much time in my 20s traveling. I wanted to bring travel back into my business. I want to take my clients on immersions. I want to do retreats abroad. And Jamie, we talk about these things all the time. And our plans for this year are we're going to have a retreat in November. It's going to be somewhere hot and beautiful, because we want to take people out of their environment and put them into another environment where you can really be open to receiving all of the wonderful gifts and ideas that are out there. But what I've been experiencing over these last couple of years, as I've been doing more traveling and I've been leaving my family to go on these wonderful adventures, and although they are amazing for my growth and for my clients' growth and for my business's growth, I've often come back with a sense of loss and a question around, how do I fit back into my normal life? That makes sense. And so one of the big pieces of work that I did when I was in Italy was, well, maybe I don't have to see it as a sense of loss. Maybe I get to see it as I get to bring all of what I've just done in Italy back into my day-to-day. And it means that I bring my life and how it feels when I'm traveling, when I'm abroad, when I'm in the sun, when I'm in the heat, when I'm experiencing different cultures, different food, different sounds, different smells, different tastes. And I'm looking at my life through my eyes. And maybe when I come back to Dundee, I get to keep looking at my life through these eyes as well. And it doesn't have to just be about when you're away, that you get to bring it home. And so for me, that's the next level with your goal setting. That's why we think about our goal from the wish fulfilled, because it changes how you see your life. When you know that there's growth attached, when you know that you're becoming someone that achieves these great things, you see life differently. So that's why we want to be viewing life through these eyes. So I'm going to take us on a little bit of a journey. I'm going to take us through what I call a mini activation, and I'm going to use a little bit of NLP. So I'm just going to double check that everybody's okay with this. This is just a little activation that we get to use our imagination, have a bit of fun, and really in this, what we're about to do, what's going to come up for you is more certainty around the life that you want. So we're going to close eyes down. And if you don't want to close your eyes down, and if you're driving, goodness, please don't close eyes down. But find yourself in a safe place and either close eyes down altogether or just lower them if that feels more comfortable. And I'm going to invite you to deepen your breathing, to deepen your breath, to take some really beautiful, big, deep breaths in, and to take even slower, deep breaths out. And I'm going to invite you to do that 3 or 4 times. And as you do that, I want you to notice your body soften. I want you to notice that your thinking mind is going to take a bit of a break. And as you breathe in and breathe out, your attention moves inwards. And take another deep breath in. And I want to invite you to reconnect with the goal that you've maybe set for yourself already. reconnect with what brought you here. If you haven't done the goal setting piece yet, reconnect with what it is that you want from life that's different to what you're experiencing now. And I'm going to invite you to go on a bit of a time journey. We're going to move slightly into our future. So see where you are now, see your feet on the ground, and imagine a light in front of you, like a river. You can just see a golden river in front of you. And my invitation now is float up above where you are now. Just float up above the room that you're in, the building that you're in, right up above, right up past the trees, up past the buildings, up past into the sky, and keep floating up until you can see a little star on the ground below where you were. And notice that golden river, like a golden light, moving out into your future. Wherever you see that is perfect. There is no right, there is no wrong. There is just exactly what comes up for you. And move forward in time. Maybe 6 months from now. 6 months from now, where you have achieved a goal. And again, just trust your judgment that what comes up for you here is meant to come up for you here. And float towards that light, towards that place, roughly 6 months from now. So towards the end of the year. Gosh, this is good timing, isn't it? It's the end of December 2026. What do you want to have achieved here? So notice what you've achieved. And what I want you to do is float one day ahead of that. Let's float into the 31st of December. Oh my goodness, I'm so pleased with these timings. And land gently on the 31st of December. You know that it's Hogmanay, New Year's Eve. And you are so grateful for what happened yesterday. What happened yesterday was that realization that you've achieved the goal that you set. I want you to sit in this energy of being so grateful that yesterday you received this goal, that you achieved this goal. And I want you to see what you see and hear what you hear, feel what you feel, because you've achieved this goal. See your life as it is now you've achieved this goal. A perfect average day. Who are you with? What are they saying? What are you saying? Maybe you're having a meal. Maybe it's lunchtime on Hogmanay. You're celebrating the goal that you've achieved. You're telling somebody about the goal that you've achieved. You're telling them about how you achieved it. What were the things that you did? What was hard? What was uncomfortable? Where did you really feel the stretch this last 6 months? And what are you so grateful for that you did? Because if you hadn't done these things, if you hadn't been experiencing some of that discomfort, part of the journey, what are you proud of? What are you proud of? And I want you to really experience the gratitude for yourself here. And I want you to just breathe in this gratitude. You did this. You made this decision. You experienced an incredible journey the last 6 months, and it was all worth it. And notice where you feel this specifically in your body. Place a hand there. Maybe it's on your chest, maybe it's in your tummy. Just, and notice how it feels to have all of this that you've done. Let your body recognize that this is safe. All of this, that you did this, you, the person who decides now. You created this life from the challenge that you attended 6 months ago when you met Nikki and Jamie for the first time. Notice how happy that you took this leap of faith, that you trusted yourself to come, to show up. And breathe that in. And with this big breath, float above the timeline once more. High, 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 until you see the star below you in the future where you've just been. And I want you to drop this future version of you back down into the star whilst you stay above. And as this person, this future version of you drops into the star, notice the ripple of the golden light of the river even further into your future. The ripple effect of the decisions that you've been making now and these last 6 months. And just allow that timeline to go right out into the horizon. The excitement of what's to come for 2027. And now you're gently going to float back to the present day. Let's float back initially to October. Just notice some events on your timeline below that have helped you to achieve that goal that you achieved at the end of this year. Feel the gratitude for them. Notice what you see, what you feel, what you hear, who you're with, what you're doing, decisions you're making. Move back another couple of months. August. Summer holidays are ending. Feel autumn's just on the crisp of coming. Notice what you see, what you feel, what you hear here, what you did to get that goal that you achieved at the end of this year. And then float back over the summer months, bringing all of this with you, all of this knowing, all of this feeling. It's already done. You can feel it in your body, can't you? And as you see the star of the present moment, float gently back down below. And then, when you're ready, open your eyes. And come back to the space and to be here. I can't actually believe it's the 30th of June. I don't think I realised that. Tomorrow is the 1st of July. Like, wow, how did that happen? How can it be the 1st of July?
The 30th of June is my wedding anniversary.
Oh, I think I saw photographs of you and Lisa.
It is.
Amazing.
So 19 years married today.
Oh my goodness, that's massive, isn't it?
How time flies.
Yeah. So I'm going to just invite you to share in the chat whatever has come up for you. And for those of you watching on replay, just really spend a bit of time and notice what came up for you. But why did I do that? Because I don't believe for a second anymore that life is meant to be you work, you get up, you repeat the same day over and over and over again, every week, every month, for a decade, for 20 years, 30, 40 years, and retire and then maybe enjoy life. I decided that I wanted to spend every day of my life like I'm on holiday. I want to see the world through holiday eyes. And that's a choice I've made. And that's something I get to cultivate every single day. How do I bring my holiday eyes to my day-to-day life? I hear it so many times, oh, I'll do that when I retire. Oh, I've got another 7 years to work. Oh, I've got another 15 years to work. Oh, I've got another year to work. Stop putting your happiness in your future. And what we did with that lovely activation was we brought your future into your now, so that you enjoy every single day and experience the way that you want to live every single day. Because that's how we grow. That's how we enjoy life now. The everyday normal, the everyday making lunch versus the everyday, however you want to grow your wealth, your contribution to life, your purpose, how you want to spend time with your loved ones, your favorite people, how you want to fill your cup every day. I never ever intended when I started this work to have a business. But I just knew that there was something within me that wanted more. And that's a natural feeling. We are designed for growth and expansion. We are designed to experience life every day, to feel all the feels, to push the boundaries that we've set upon ourselves, to stretch them, to smash our glass ceilings and actually live a good life. And this is all you need to begin. You must want what you're going after, and you must be willing to hold your attention onto it. You must be willing to breathe life into it every single day. You must be ready to exercise your own will against yourself, because your own battle is always with your own inner thoughts. You must be ready to hold the vision in your mind's eye, to use your imagination to work for you, not to think about the things that you don't want, but to think about the things that you want. Because what we know now is the world is louder than it's ever been. And there's so many people that want to tell you what you think you should or shouldn't be doing. And holding your own energy and amongst all that noise, that's our work. I love when Bob Proctor says we are our biggest problem and we are our biggest solution. There's a part of you that wants growth, and there's a part of you that wants safety and familiarity. There is a part of you that will say, I want this, and then there's another part straight away that will say, but. And your decision today is, do you want to be part of the 3%? Do you want to be that person? Because if you do, it's a journey, and it's not an easy journey. You have to fight for it. You have to fight for the life that you want. You have to take responsibility. What if you did take responsibility? What would taking 100% responsibility for everything that is in your life right now and be that person that has the ability to change it? Responsibility. It's 2 words. We have the ability to choose our response. What would you change? Because you can. You can do anything you set your mind to. And you might not know that, and you might be sitting saying, they've got it all, whatever. But no, we all started where you're starting. And borrow our belief, because we know how powerful this work is. When you take 100% responsibility, you have the power to change. You get to stop being the victim. You get to let go of blaming everyone else, everything else, every other person, all the other circumstances, life, grannies, hot-headed grandparents, difficult bosses, difficult partners. What you get to do is you get to bring it all back to you. When you decide to let go of blame, something else fills its place. Empowerment, choice. And life really does get to be amazing. So if you are ready to let go and to take 100% responsibility, then type that in the chat. Yes, responsibility, I'm ready. Because when you take that on, then you have the power to change. And life gets to be incredible.
Who is committing? Who is ready to go to that next level? Because I certainly am. Every day, every morning, we've got routines that we follow that just reminds us. What was that slide we focused on this morning, Nikki? If you don't focus on your goals, then your old paradigms will take charge every day.
Yeah.
Why? Because I'm about to just celebrate those who've done their C-type goals or shared it in the Facebook group. And there was on the Zoom call last night. The Zoom call was amazing last night. So thank you for those who came along, and we had a good chat about really refining what we want, the vision behind that, the why behind that. But we were understanding all the buts that came up, all the excuses, all the fears, all the worries, all the doubts. But when you really think about that exercise, I went through that exercise with you and Nikki there as well. I'm part of this every single day. And when you go to that place, inside your mind, inside your imagination, and you feel like you've been there, when you focus on that, you're not focusing on the lack. You're not focusing on scarcity. You're not focusing on why you can't achieve certain things. And this is what we get to do with this material. Today, as we're talking about the power of the mind. And when you discover the power of the mind, you go, wait a second here, I've been doing this all my life. Think about when you were a child and you really wanted something and you came up with so many different ways and you had that belief for going to get that. There have been certain examples in your life when you've manifested things in your life. It could be the dress or the outfit you want for that party. It could be that person you really fancied, you wanted that date. It could be that you wanted to go on that holiday and you just made sure you were going to get that. It could be you go to that restaurant this weekend, you're going to have this wonderful meal, and there's wonderful wine with your wonderful friends or family, and you make things happen. And there's no difference from going through that process from what we perceive to be achievable and realistic versus those you think, is that slightly out of my grasp and can I get it? And this is what this material, we're around all the time. We're always reminding ourselves of what we want or what we want to go after. So I do want to congratulate those who did a wee bit of homework last night. And there's still time over today and tomorrow to be brave and to post inside the group. Lenny, you were very, very proactive yesterday, and you were very, very brave, and you went ahead and you submitted that in the Facebook group. So well done. But I did ask Lenny the question. The goal is wonderful. I can see some of the reasons why behind that, and there's a bit of a story. But for all of you with your C-type goals, you must put a date on it, because there's something called Parkinson's law. And for those of you who maybe had to submit something in a particular length of time, university, submission date, something, and it's way off in the future. And what you do is you worry about that later on. So what we do is, with a goal, you bring that date quite close and you go after it. So the example I gave last night was a 12-month goal. I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm a PGI coach, helping people all over the world, and I'm earning, I think it was £100,000 a year by December the following year. So 12 months to get it done. There was a sense of urgency. I said, let's do this. And your paradigm might say, well, let's add 15 years to that. Let's add 10 years to that. That's pushing it way in the future. You can achieve whatever you want in a lot shorter length of time. But if you don't achieve it in that length of time, guess what? That's okay. You can move the timeline, but the goal doesn't change, because you've put that much detail and imagination and emotion and vision and thoughts and feelings into that goal. And when you put a date on it, it makes it real. And Lenny had a wee giggle at herself last night, because I know how that made you feel when I said that. So well done for doing that, and well done also for Catherine as well for putting in your dream and goal. And by the way, there's nothing unrealistic about that. Becoming a millionaire. Now, one thing that we like to talk about in this space is money, a safe space to talk about money, because money is freedom tokens to give you the freedom of choice for time and experiences. But it's also something we often don't like to speak about. Zig Ziglar said, money's not important, but it's kind of up there with oxygen. We need it more than we care to think about it. So, Catherine and Lenny, well done. I'm going to send you a prize, a gift. It's an ebook called You Were Born Rich by Bob Proctor. And it is a wonderful book of Bob. Spent his whole life in the 80s writing it. And that's our gift to you for doing the homework. So there's still time for all of you, if you've not submitted your C-type goal into the chat, into the group, into the Facebook group, and it's in the portal. If you need help, let us know. Then you'll get exactly the same. And for the homework for tonight or today, you're going to get even more if you do that as well. So how does that sound? Give them a round of applause, everybody. Well done. Because you'd made the commitment, you made the sacrifice of time, and this is what you get back in return. And I want you to kind of really listen to what we're doing here, because we did have a wee bit of a stumbling block last night. We have a problem when we do exercises like this. And it was not because you didn't listen, it's because this is a new group and these are new people. And then what happens when that happens is that you get a bit scared. You're like, oh my God, I don't want people to judge me. I don't want people to think anything of me. And when we've done this brave courage act, then you're allowing other people to do exactly the same. So you are the shining light for everybody else to go and do and make that commitment. So I want to say well done. Huge congratulations. So continue to find a piece of paper once you've defined and refined your C-type goal. I've got my C-type goal that I carry about with me. I've got some bank cards in here. I've got two goals. I've got one on one side, one on the other that I read every single day. I might change that once I've achieved that, but I carry it with me. And when you put it in your pocket, you put it in your purse, you put it in your wallet, you can put it anywhere you want to, have it on your computer. I've also got, on my phone, I've also got my vision board. I was laughing about that this morning. My face is at the front and centre on my phone because it's a reminder of my goal of what I want to achieve. And it's that repetition. So take a picture of it, put it on your phone. It doesn't matter where it is, as long as you see it somewhere, because the more you focus on your goal, then the less you will focus on your paradigms that are holding you back. Where your focus goes, your energy flows. Does that make sense? Listen, Elaine is saying, I'm empowered from that mini activation, which is wonderful by Nikki, absolutely. But she needs reminded daily. Well, guess what? We might have a community for you to be part of daily if you want to have that. So stay with us and we might share something with you. Isn't that right, Nikki?
Absolutely.
So
it is. We do need the reminder daily.
We do.
It's a lifestyle. It's a practice. It's a choice that we get to make, how we want to spend our time and the environments that we want to be in, and which environments drain us and which environments energize us and make us realize that anything we want is possible.
Anything.
Absolutely.
And that's why we want to be so precise with our goals. Only what you want goes on the goal, not what you think you cannot get. So, because if you cloud it with everything else, all the virus codes of worries and doubts and fears, it's like you're going to have to search through this pile of junk to find out what you're going after. Yeah. So by making that commitment and taking responsibility, and understanding, like, this is your life. Like, there's no dress rehearsal here. But now what we're doing this week, we're giving you that control and that awareness to say, it's up to me now. It's up to me to take my life forward to that direction, to that level that we've made a bit of commitment about. And if you're still to do that, do it. It'll be the best thing you can do. Because once you've committed to that, then you can... What taking 100% responsibility actually means is there's no more blame. You're no longer the victim of anything anymore. You are in control of you. You decide what you think about. You decide on what you focus on every single day. And when you focus on your goals and you internalize these goals every single day, then guess what? Things start to happen by coincidences. There's luck and this, oh my God, this is like magic. The universe corresponds to exactly the level of belief, the level of frequency, the level of energy you've got, and it starts to attract these things into your life. Now, some of you might be sitting there going, well, you know what? There's loads of stuff happening. There's tough times. And by the way, we're not undermining and dismissing that there's stuff that goes on. We would never, ever do that. But there's ways of getting around this. And, there's something that I've got on my little desk here that remind me of. And I'm going to just read out on this little wooden block. That it was one of the first things when I was working with Bob Proctor that said, and it completely blew me away of how simple it was, but yet how powerful these three concepts could be when you're really considering the circumstances and the conditions and the environments that are around you, that are external to you. And if you're thinking right now, you're going after this goal and you're going, but this is crap and this is not fair and I can't do that because of them, then these three things can get you to think about every single situation exactly the same. So 3 different parts to how Bob framed this for us. Number 1, it is what it is. Accept it. It will either control you or you will control it. Basically, the choice is yours. So essentially what this is saying is that you decide what is controlling you. So are you in control? Or is what's going on around you in your external environment, is that in control? And I can understand again that we're not saying that this is easy at times. It might sound simple, but it's not easy. We really need to think about who's in control here. And I would be a liar to say that sometimes the things that happen around me, I don't get emotionally involved in it. I don't have a knee-jerk reaction. But we're just human. That's what happens with the chimp part of our brain. But we could take control through our thinking. So that's number 1. It is what it is. Accept it. Number 2, and this is one of my favourites, is harvest the good. It says, there's good in everything. Seek and you will find. Essentially, when you look for it, you will find it. There is good in everything if you look for it. And you will find whatever it is you're looking for. And we're going to talk about the reticulate or activate system tomorrow, which is basically we look for the evidence and proof to support our belief system. So we've got to ask ourselves, what evidence are you currently looking for that supports what you believe about you achieving the things you want in life? Are you looking for evidence to support you and what you're going after? Or are you looking for excuses to stay where you are? And I often say to Nikki, what's worse than an excuse, Nikki?
A good excuse.
A good excuse. Because we're always telling people why this is a good excuse.
Oh, yeah, we really love our excuses, and sometimes we just want to hold on to them and we want to tell
Oh,
everybody
good.
why it's impossible to let this excuse go.
And it's up to you. All of this is up to you. And we are beyond serious about this today, this week, our entire life, because we want nothing more for you than you to really understand what we're speaking about here. Like really grasp this concept of 100% responsibility. And when that happens, you can then say, right, what can I do today to improve my situation?
Yeah.
And the thing is, when you start to understand this and we take control, nobody makes you feel anything. Nobody can make you think anything. By the way, including me and Nikki, we've not got the right to make you think in a particular way. We can just advise you of how to help you think better, feel better, and act better to get better results. So, and this is a massive part of my life. I was used to being the plaything of what was going on around me because I was a people pleaser. I wanted to make sure that everybody was ensuring that I was accepted. So I would make sure that I was fit in here, or I've got to be accepted here. I've got to do what everything else I believed, what they expected of me. Until today. Because every day is a reminder from me that actually I don't need to live that way. So for you, I want you to do the same. You would say, after today, I'm no longer being the plaything for what is going on around me. From this moment, you are in control. And then number 3 on the back is forgive the rest. It says forgive means to let go of completely, abandon, release it. Just let it go. If it does not serve you, let it go. And when you get into the habit of doing that, wow, liberation is just on the other side. It's your time.
Love it.
It's your time.
Lainey's put that comment, I'm a people pleaser in recovery.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've got chronic people pleaser. And a big part of this journey is that self-awareness piece, isn't it? Where do you go to, and when does it serve you? When does it serve you? When is it okay to just enjoy the kind of people please part of you, and when you realize that it's getting in your way of you making decisions based on what other people's needs are rather than your own, then you get to practice. And I think for me that practice is that's the hard bit, isn't it? Because your desire is to please others, but actually, no, I'm not going to do that. So the whole awareness piece allows you to make different decisions. It doesn't mean that that bit of you disappears, because it's who you are, but it's no longer in charge. So I love that. I love that. And one of the things that it's the old stories. It's the old stories that have always stayed with us or dominated the show. That's the ones we get to let go of. And certainly when we were in Arizona last year, so Jamie and I became business partners just at the very end of December. And one of the things that he had said to me was, you'll need to come to Arizona as part of our training with Proctor Gallagher. And I remember at the time thinking, you know, all the normal thoughts of, oh my God, how the hell am I going to pay for this? But realizing, filtering it through my cornerstones, you know, is this going to help my growth? Yes. Is it going to help my family's growth? Yes. Is it going to help my business growth? Yes. Does it give me travel? Because that's one of my cornerstones. Yes. And so the answer was yes. This is how I make my decisions now. I don't make my decisions through the logical mind. I make them through, does it filter it through my cornerstones? And if it ticks the boxes, or most of them, it gets a yes. And so off we went to Arizona. And I remember not really knowing what I was going into, because I was very new to the world of Proctor Gallagher. But I met with Sandy Gallagher. I met her for the first time, and she was amazing. And one of the things that she did was she put up a slide, and it was the very first slide that she put up to open this event, and it said, "Love yourself enough to walk away from that which no longer serves you, grows you, or makes you happy." And I remember thinking, wow. And I knew straight away that it was my job. That was the thing that I really wanted to let go of. It was the thing that was really draining the life out of me. And she said, you know, don't stand there and fight it. Don't just keep putting up with other people's stuff. Walk away from what no longer serves you, grows you, or makes you happy. And if it doesn't serve you or grow you or make you happy, get rid of it. And one of the examples that she gives, and it's an example that Jamie gives, and it's an example that I have taken on as well, is we don't watch the news. Like, the news is generally designed to make, well, I'm not going to go into what I think it's designed to do, but it's not designed to enlighten us a lot of the time. A lot of social media feeds aren't designed to enlighten us. And so turn the things off. If the people that you're with are draining the life out of you, be boundaried around who you spend your time with. If you don't like how a conversation is going, walk away from it. And so within that moment, for me, it was, I'm going to leave my job. And I knew in that moment I was going to leave my job. Now, my husband had asked me to have a lot of things in place before I left my job, but that was his stuff, not mine. And so I sent him a text when I was in Arizona, and I said, you know, we need to talk. And I sent him the screenshot. And I just thought, no, I need to leave now. And we didn't really talk about it for a while, but I had already started to think about it and cultivate the desire in my mind of how it was going to feel in my life. And as Jamie says, we've got a lot of daily practices that we share within our community that our clients now have as part of their daily practice, because there's certain things you get to do if you really want to achieve the things you say you want to achieve. And so I carried out a lot of these daily practices. Well, I carry them all out every day. And eventually it became very easy for me to hand in my notice and to leave my job. It became annoying. It went from an idea sitting in a training room in Arizona to oh my God, this is going to happen. I'm going to do this. 22 years in the one kind of organization. I'm going to leave and I'm going to become a business. I'm going to become an entrepreneur full time, and I'm going to become a coach full time. And just that knowing that gave me that courage to do the things. Now, I still had a lot of noise in my head. I still had a lot of people telling me that they didn't think it was a good idea. And don't be daft. You're not going to do that, aren't you not? Yes, I am. I had to really hold my ground. And this is, again, what Jamie says when he says about, we're not here to discount your real life experiences. What we're here to do is to give you the tools and the strategies and the transformation to hold yourself in amongst it all. Our clients aren't living in la la land. They're all people that have got big ambition for themselves, their businesses, their families, their environment. We're helping them to stay grounded so they can achieve their goal. This is what we do. This is what we guide you through. Here's your goal. Now, if you really want it and your environment isn't conducive to it, because if it was, you would be having it anyway now, we give you that environment. So that was what I did. Against all odds, I did, and I created the business with Jamie now. Together, this is what we get to do now for a living. We both did it last year. We both left our full-time jobs, our safety nets, our salaries, all our things, and now we help people achieve their goals. Now, their goals aren't to leave their jobs and get businesses, but whatever your goal is your goal. But what we're trying to explain is all you need is a decision and conviction and understanding that this is how you get to experience life if you want it. It's all there for the taking. So I'm going to go through the workbook because I'm conscious of time. We normally run a little bit longer on day 2, but I don't think we contracted for that. So I'm hoping that the people that are here are happy to stay with us. And we'll probably go for the next 20 minutes, maybe 25 minutes tops. We will be finished by 2:30 at the very latest. But yeah, so there's some questions that I thought I'll just run through them very quickly. So of course I'm going to have to put the glasses on because it's bloody time. But this is just to help you to understand that you're in the right place, that you're still here, that you're still listening to us. And if you have to go, please go. And if you can catch up with this replay later, do before you come back into Zoomiverse tonight at 7 p.m. But some of these questions, they're in your workbook, and it's just allowing you to realise, yeah, this is the right environment for me. So you are in the right place if you compare yourself with others. Now, I lived like that for a very long time. I didn't ever believe that I really fitted in anywhere. And there was lots of comparison was there. And I lacked self-belief, hugely lacked self-belief that I had any ability to do the things that I wanted to do. I lived from a very distant victim mindset where I believed everything that was outside of me was what controlled how I lived. And I didn't understand the power of bringing that internal environment into awareness and working on the inner stuff. And I'm afraid of rejection from others. Yeah, as humans, we're hardwired for belonging. And so to decide to unbelong to some of the systems that are currently keeping you where you are, it's really hard. People pleasing, that's huge for me. And I'm still a people pleaser. I still want to be at the front. I'm so funny in the yoga class. I always go in and I'm always the first one at the front of the thing where the yoga teacher is. I want to be the teacher's pet. Now, it serves me in those moments. It brings me joy. It makes me happy. It's an ego thing. And it's okay to be in childlike ego when I'm in the yoga class. But I'm not in any of my other spaces where I get to be the leader. So it's noticing, where do you just get to breathe and bring that stuff that lights you up and brings that inner child to play, and then where do you get to really hold on to your inner power? And being afraid of rejections, having trouble concentrating. Yeah, when you've got if you've not got direction of a goal, then there's all the stuff everybody else's stuff comes at you. And how do you choose? Well, that's where it gets really hard to concentrate. And then afraid to sell. This is how I found NLP. When I left my job and started to sell myself as a coach, I really struggled with that because I'd never had to do that before. And NLP really, in an instant, changed my relationship with money, with selling, with worth, with understanding the energetic transference of money. I don't feel like a great leader yet. That was used to be one of mine. Afraid of making mistakes used to be one of mine. Put everything off until later, yet when the kids are older, when the money's in the bank, all the delays. I practiced them all until I realised that's all they were, was just delays. Not trusting my decisions. Yeah, what should I wear today? What do you think I should do? I used to ask these questions a lot. Procrastination comes in similar with having all the things to deal with. Procrastination, one of my other drivers is hurry. So yeah, people please is one of my strong drivers, but my other driver is hurry. And so I used to do things because my nervous system was so aligned to hurry. I would procrastinate so that everything became hurried. So I'd waste time. I waste a lot of my time. I've completely changed my relationship with time in the last few years. And worried about the opinions of others. Yeah, getting back to that, what do you think I should do? And so on a scale of 1 to 10, do you believe in yourself? Really sit with these questions. We won't be able to do them just now. And maybe you can just very quickly write things down just now if something comes up for you as you do it. Are other people's opinions about you important to you? Are you confident? Do you respect yourself? Do you appreciate your achievements? And do you give your all every single day? So sit with some of these figures and notice where you are and be honest with yourself here. And then as we go through the next today and tomorrow as well, you will understand why this work is so important and that your power to change lies in this work. And so, yeah, let's move on, I think, to the main paradigm piece. And I'm going to let Jamie take on from here.
Yeah. Thank you, Nikki. So, yeah, listen, go back and watch this in replay. It's in your workbook as well. So you don't need to really take this all in and right. There's all these replays. So please do go back and watch this multiple times. And these will be available until Monday next week at midnight. So you've got a bit of time to go back and watch them again and again and again. And we've still got Zoom calls tonight. I've got Zoom calls tomorrow night to come into the Zoom room and have chats and have a good ask questions. But this is the main homework for tonight. Okay, so we've been talking about paradigms today. We've been talking about the ABBA. Let me introduce you to this wonderful thing called the stick person. Now, this is in your homework. So you've got a blank page. So you can either print this off and take a photograph from what you're about to do and then upload it into the Facebook group, or you can doodle it yourself and be as creative as you want. Actually, a few months ago, I had somebody on AI who came up with a wonderful, wonderful image of what this is all about. But this stick person here is what we're about to. I don't know if you see me. I think I have just been lost. Am I still here? Sorry, I think my camera just went off. I'm back. Sorry, technology. So this is what we're about to do. So let me just zoom out because this little exercise here is what you're going to about to do tonight. I'm going to do it on a little, almost like a blue here, a little chart here. We have got a flip chart and I have got a pen. And I am going to draw this big circle represents the mind and the small circle represents the body. And we've got 5 little antennae coming out, which is your 5 senses. What you see, hear, feel, taste, and smell. And if we view the stick person like this represents every single one of us. Every single one of us. And the mind controls the body. So for the purpose of today, we're going to call it the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. So this conscious mind is the thinking mind, and the subconscious mind is the emotional mind. And the way we think impacts the way we feel, and the way we feel impacts the way we act, and the way our body vibrates, i.e. the way we move. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction that gives us every single result in our lives. Now, most people, this 97% club, look at results on the outside. That could be conditions, circumstances, your environments. And if they're pretty crap, it makes us think crap, makes us feel crap, and we act crap. And we're in this current cycle of crapness. That's a new term I've just came up with. But the point being is that sometimes when we look outside and things are not up for us, we go, what's the point? So all this material we're covering this week, like we did last night, is we need to flip from the inside out. And the way we do that is by understanding how the conscious mind works. Now, we get to accept or reject thoughts in our conscious mind. 66,000 thoughts we have in a day. Isn't that interesting? Always, there's two things that fascinates me about that start. 66,000 thoughts a day. One, that's an awful lot of thoughts. And two, who counted them? That's a task. But the point being is, we can't always accept them all. We sometimes reject them. But if we can't accept thoughts, then we get to choose and take control of the thoughts that we get to get emotionally involved in. What does that mean? Well, we get to think from the end. We get to think from the goal. We get to think of that vision every single day with our goal cards, with our C-type goal, and we get emotionally involved in it. Emotion is the language of the subconscious mind. And universal intelligence loves the language of feelings and emotion and frequency and vibration. It is what it is. It's science. So you get to think, and when you feel, you pass to the subconscious mind, and then you act and get results. Now, here's a beautiful thing. 2 to 4% of your results are from the conscious mind. 96 to 98% of your results come from the subconscious, from the program. This is the real deal here. This is what's in charge. So in here, this is where we use that word paradigms at the start. This is where our paradigms exist. A multitude of habits that are in control of what you do every single day. Your relationship towards money, relationship towards relationships, results, success, failure, health, weight, fitness, all of these things are in your paradigms. So to change paradigms, we need to create new paradigms. And how do we do that? Through repetition. New I am statements. I'm so happy, grateful now. I am strong. I am confident. I am successful. I am calm. I am serene. I am a leader. I am strong. All these different things that we tell us again and again and again. So the way we think impacts the way we feel. So the more we entertain these thoughts and we get them involved in the emotional mind, we start to move forward. So how do we think better? Well, there's 6 mental faculties. There's the imagination, intuition, perception, memory, reason, and will. These are 6 mental factors that we teach our clients in our academy, and we go into them in great detail. Reason is faulty. We reason our way out of lots of things. Our imagination, the most wonderful thing you're blessed with. Everybody's got a very well-versed imagination. You think of pictures all the time, so which pictures do you want to really look at in your mind every day? Your intuition is your feeling. You pick up vibrations from everybody else. Your perception is the way you see the world. The way you and me see the world is different. It's the lens we look through. Our memory is in fine working fettle that we pull in old memories all the time, often to convince ourselves of why we shouldn't do something. So let's pull in better memories and let's store new, good, positive, successful memories to remind ourselves we're good enough. And then will, the ability to focus, the ability to concentrate, and all these faculties are in our mind, in our conscious mind. So when you go to the mind gym every single day and you strengthen these faculties, then we get to think better, then we get to feel better, we get to act better, and we get better results in our life. So your homework tonight is to go back and watch what I've just said there over and over and over again. And you really think to yourself, what's the dominating thoughts you've got in your mind? And write them out and then cross them out and say, what's the new dominating thoughts that I want to have in my mind? A life of abundance, a life of prosperity, a life of joy, of calmness, all the things around you. Who are you as a person? Don't forget about you. And then your feelings. What's the dominant feelings you've got? You know, maybe it's fear and doubts, but actually cross them out. Is it faith? You know, new paradigms in there. The paradigms of I love money. I love success. I love taking on new things. So we can really think about the new paradigms you want to embed in your program and your psyche that makes you to become the person you know you've got the ability to become. And then you think about your results. What's the results you want in your life? Is it money? Is it status? Is it experiences? Is it holidays? Is it cars? Is it whatever? It may be health. It could be happiness. It could be wealth. This is you. You can spend as many times redrafting and going over this again and again and again and again. You can make multiple pictures. This is negating a lifetime of virus codes that we've all had embedded within us in our subconscious mind since we were a child. So when we really go back and I think about, well, actually we know the science tells us in the first 7 years of our life, it basically conditions us to be the person we are right now. So which are working for us and which are working against us. And you get the choice to change these things. You get the choice to really think about, is this serving me? Because you're in control. So I know that was a lot of information in a very short period of time. But when I understood that about this stick person, this is the methodology that we teach in our academy every single day. Every single day. So there we go.
I had to leave and come back. Sorry, I lost volume again.
That's okay.
But I
Hello.
checked on YouTube. People could still hear you, so that was fine. It was obviously just me.
Good. So yeah, that's the stick person. So that's your homework tonight. So going back to just sharing, this is the page from the homework. Print this out or draw it out. Doodle what the conscious mind is. Doodle what the subconscious mind is. What are paradigms? What are the mental faculties? What are your senses? What are your current results? What do you want your new results to be? And just be creative. Spend time with this. This is your life. You're the most important person in your life, and you're the architect of your life, and you've got the pen.
Yeah, draw it, start to create what you want to experience in your life, start to use that drawing to really understand the current language that you're using with yourself and start treating yourself well, better. Yeah.
Yeah. And remember, there's prizes, there's gifts to give away. So if you do your homework, there's something else. So Lainey and Catherine, well done. You've got that ebook, we'll get to you. But there's something else we're going to give away tomorrow if you do that.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
So is that us for today?
I think it might be. Yes, I think it is.
Come on, ask everybody who's still here, how do you feel? And be honest.
Would love to know.
Just some feelings inside the chat, even you're watching back.
What's resonated, what's landed.
Replay, yep.
Tell us it all.
We're giving you
what you're realising that you didn't realise in the beginning. What's your takeaway? What's your win? What's your light bulb moment? Tell us. Oh. The last one I can see is from Lainey saying, wow. Love it.
Yeah. There's so much here. There's so much.
So much. Just, share with us and we'll wait for a wee moment. Tomorrow's going to be tomorrow is absolutely my favourite. Everybody that knows, thank you. Excited. Yeah, me too, Lainey, me too. It is very exciting. Tomorrow is my favourite. Tomorrow is around, I don't really want to say too much because obviously we just want you to be excited, but you can't be excited because you don't know what's coming. But we do. But yeah, tomorrow's going to help you to really understand why people don't take action. And most people hold themselves back. Most people hesitate. And what we're going to help you to understand is what most people don't hesitate on. So you're going to want to know the answer for that. So we're just going to leave that one there. Tonight we're in the Zoomiverse at 7. So we'll see you there. And we'll go from there.
Yeah. So yeah, Zoom link will be in the WhatsApp. The Zoom is in your emails.
Yeah.
We'll be here for 7 o'clock. Come along, cup of tea, ask questions, get as much as you want out of us. We're here for you this week to take your life to another level. So be there. So thank you for today. I'm going to leave you with Mr. Proctor again. So here's the video at the very beginning. If you've never seen it, not a problem at all. Enjoy this, and we'll see you tonight in the Zoomiverse. If not, we'll see you back here tomorrow at 1 p.m. Okay? Enjoy this, and we'll see you tomorrow. Well done.
Paradigm is in control of you. Don't think it's not. It is. It is in control of you. It's a demon inside of you, and it talks to you. And it tells you, don't do that, you crazy. Go ahead, do it. Don't do it. It's in control. And you know something? 97% of the time, the damn thing wins. It does. And I don't care how sophisticated you are. I don't care how smart you are. I don't care how religious you are. I don't care about any of those things. Your paradigm is in control. It's been programmed right into the cells in your being. Stop and think of how you got here. A little particle of energy from Mom. Little particle of energy from dad comes swimming along. They were in resonance, and that is the nucleus of you. And then for 280 days, an attractive force went to work. And all of mom's DNA and all dad's DNA, where'd their DNA come from? Well, their mother and their dad. Where did it go from? Their mothers and their dads. God knows how far back this goes. You're the product of other people. You're the confluence of thinking that goes back for God knows how far. That's who you are. That's why you look like you do. That's why you've got the hair you've got. That's why you're the height you are, the weight you are. That's why your foot is wide or narrow. This is all programmed into us. Then 280 days later, we make our debut on the planet. And we become programmed by the people we're surrounded by. This is real, and you're not going to get it in school because the teachers don't know it. Look at it. This is really a black or white deal. It doesn't matter how hard you work. It doesn't matter how many hours you put in. If the paradigm doesn't change, ultimately results remain the same from one year to the next. That's why people go right through their life living much the same as their parents and their grandparents and their great-grandparents. Nothing changes. Just as prejudiced, bigoted, and ignorant from one generation to the next. You must alter the paradigm if you desire to improve your results. Both companies and individuals operate with paradigms. Countries operate with paradigms. Families have paradigms. To be able to shape your future, though, you have to be willing and able to change your paradigm.